Hello, hello, and welcome to part 2 of Muramasa, the Demon Blade, the Retro Achievements playthrough for me, Cole, in the Chao Garden. Thank you for joining me once again. If you haven't seen part 1, you probably want to check that out so you can kind of understand how this game works and get the basic premise. But for everybody else, welcome back. We had left off right before the second boss. Judging by the achievement on screen, I gotta look over to the side to see it. Achieve a combo of 75 or higher and defeat Wanyudo to clear Act 2 on Shura or Shigurui difficulty. We're on Shura difficulty, which I believe is kind of the standard. It's either normal mode, depending on how you want to look at it, or it's hard mode. I guess it would be closer to the normal difficulty if there's only really 2 to choose from. But that's fine. I'm content with calling it that. So we'll see if we do any better against this second boss. I'm clearly not very good at this game, so I'm going to have to rely on any and all tactics. Because of the separation between Momohime's soul and her body that Jinkuro is inhabiting, I'm curious. They're not really developing any kind of bond right now, which is maybe the trope I would expect them to deal with, is, you know, someone trying to coexist in this shared body and, like, them despising each other. Jinkuro using Momohime to their own advantage. But then maybe becoming more of friends later on. But that doesn't seem like the play they're going for just yet. We'll have to see. I like this guy's sprite. That was the one dialogue to advance. Interesting. If there's anything I could criticize this game for so far, it's just that the story doesn't, like, hook you right away. There's a lot of gameplay in between and before you really get any idea of what the story even is. So it's quite lucky that the gameplay is as good as it is, and the art style is immaculate, so that really draws you in instead. It makes me very curious how games like Odin Sphere and Unicorn Overlord and all the other Vanillaware games, how those play out. If those have more of a story focus or not. Ooh, the music is foreboding. Chilling.
加害遊興とは生臭が過ぎるのではないかなんかい。 桃姫の魂はいずこ。返答以下で真っ二つじゃ心して答え。
待っておったぞジックロ。吉原で女が振られるのは常のこと。たとえ霊魂であろうと、やはりここでは売れるのじゃ。嘘だと思うか？顔のいかつい靴は親父に聞いてみるがいい。節操を切るのはそれからにした方が利口であろうよ。
Yeah, even just the presentation of the story is really odd.
振り向いてはなりません、旦那様。この凄まじい容器、真後ろにいるのは噂の化け物に間違いありません。噂では姿を見た者は八つ咲きにされるそうでございます。逆を申せば見さえしなければ大丈夫。振り向かねば。
難儀なことを言うやつよ。尻を向けたままでは物を尋ねることもできまい。どれ一つ顔を拝んでやろう。これは確かにいいかつい顔じゃな。靴は親父、いや和乳道。桃姫の魂を返せ。嫌でも腕ずくでもろうてゆくぞ。
How am I gonna hurt this thing without getting hurt myself? Oh, you get combos for putting out the flames. Ah, but of course I got hit. I dropped my combo somehow. How? I don't even know how I dropped my combo there. Oh, if you mash attack there. How did I... I'm not getting any combo right now. That's unfortunate. Ah, man. Losing my combo to ground effects and projectiles and stuff. Feels bad. I think that this is going to be a harder achievement set than I was expecting. That attack doesn't let you gain any hits for your combo. Okay, that's why it had dropped earlier. That's really weird. Are they both like that? Does this one? No, that one extends my combo. Ooh, there we go. I had to just spam that move, but it worked. Ah, this is rough. Oh. Owie. Oh, recovery pellet is not... I thought recovery like antidote, but that's not at all. I have to focus. I have to lock in. Whew. It always feels good to actually get like a high combo, but it's another thing entirely to force yourself to get a high combo when you might not otherwise do so. Oh, there's a leaderboard. So that's pretty cool. That's another thing in Retro Achievements I probably didn't mention. Just because it's not really how I go about it. But if you wanted to play a game that has leaderboards for certain things like that, highest combo on a boss, I mean, that's a cool way to compete with other people.
剣の申し子、終わりの獅子ともてはやされた不悪小五郎太という剣士など覚えてはおるまい。筋試合で二度と獲物を持てる身とされたこちらは忘れぬ。逃げるように出家してからも毎夜恨みは募るばかりぞ。今やわしは僧正の地位にある。真言蓮華宗の僧らに命じ、必ずや追い詰めて奈落に落としてくれようぞ。
He just looks like some default monk character, or like nondescript really, but he seems to have a lot of importance in this story.
靴は親父との話はついたぞ、悪僧め。後でキレと抜かしておったの。いかにもそうしよう。
仁九郎、邪教の技に頼り女の姿となって生きるほどに死は怖いか。それが悪あがきであることを教えてやろう。
Not to distract from what they're talking about, but Momohime's design is so good. Like, I just love the flowers in her hair. Oh, I don't know how many trains have passed by, but yeah, you'll have to get used to that if you watch my streams or these Let's Plays. Anyway, the other character, Kisuke, I think I used to be more into his design as kind of just like an edgelord, but I think I've far grown out of that. And so now Momohime easily is the character that speaks to me more of the two.
今に超武装が押し寄せてくる。それだけでない。柳生の若殿、雪之丞殿の命で忍びの追っ手がかかっておる。
やはり執拗に襲ってくるのは柳生の忍者であったか。おぼろ流は影の流れを組む剣。忍者相手に遅れは取らぬ。それより雪之丞と聞いてはこうしてはおれ。
無双と歌われる柳生新影流が相手と知って臆したか。心配せずとも逃げ場はないぞ。
なんと礼をしてよいものやら。囚われた女郎の霊は皆晴れた自由の身。わっちも成仏できるでありやす。
I wonder how many souls it had.
己のためにしたまでのこと。いつまでも鬱陶しい姿を晒すようなら、妖刀の餌食にいたすぞ。とっとと行けい、朝霧。
Oh, it's Momohime.
さりとてあの世へ行くこともかなわぬ。いつまでこんなありさまなのじゃ。
桃姫か。そう嘆くでない。お主も困っておろうが、わしもこのままでは我慢がならん。わしが出て行こう。この体をお主に返すと言うておるのよ。それにはおとなしく同行してもらわねばならんがどうじゃ。断るなら面倒じゃがお主の魂を封じておかねばならぬ。その時は元の体にも戻れんと覚悟せい。ついてくるか。よしよし、聞き分けのいい子だ。 今月狐に蘭海の後をつけさせよ。おそらくは雪の城に行きつけよ。あやつに会うてわしの太刀の行方を聞き出さねばならん。
Kuromitsu.
相模半言黒光の太刀でなければ玉写しの技はできぬのだ。術の破れたこの身を捨てて新たに屈強な男子の
Assume the
体を得
form
る
of
た
a
めには
powerful
あれ
man.
がどうしてもいるのだ。
Okay, I was just about to say, like, I'm kind of a... I've never been very... Maybe, what would it be? Media literate, or rather, it took me a long time to become as media literate as maybe we should be expected to be in the modern age, so... Like, the stories of games and movies kind of flew over my head for a long time, and I don't think of myself as a dull person, but I was sitting here thinking, like, what are we trying to accomplish? What is Jinkudo's, like, strategy? What's the objective of the story right now? Am I missing something? But maybe it's just being told in a way that's not exceedingly clear at the start. It's a different storytelling method. So now we're looking for a certain sword so that Jinkudo can regain his original body or gain like a different one, but he's stuck in Momohime's right now, so that's my understanding of what's going on right now. Effect mad tummy. Getsui. 9 out of 44 blades, I'm assuming. Oh, I never even equipped a ninja belt. That would have been smart, huh? This is my weakest sword, as far as raw strength goes. Oh, and I had another sword that we reached the stat requirements for at some point. Strength +1. I like that windmill. I might need to keep windmill. Oh, you know, the nice thing, actually, if I keep a weaker weapon attack-wise, the boss fight will last longer, which can be advantageous in the event, like, I want its health pool to last longer so I can reach a higher combo. And it has windmill, which hits a bunch of times and is helpful to us for, you know, somewhat obvious reasons. So, vitality, I'm assuming, is like defense. Does it increase our life total? No, so it must be defense. Swallow, Saw, Flash. Can't test them until I'm in combat, that's right. There was another path that I hadn't taken in one of these maps, was there not? There was like a bridge. Items are marked on the maps themselves for you to pick up. I guess I haven't seen a tracker pop up in the corner for collecting items in the world, so I don't know if it's going to be a requirement to 100% the game for the achievement set. Which I wouldn't have minded, but now I am scared by the prospect that it would be a thing because there are items indoors. And those aren't tracked within the game, so I would have to be really, really meticulous and, like, remember which maps they're in. My least favorite thing to do with a game is refer to a guide for anything. Unless it's, like, some secret collectible, like, you know... I was made to play that Call of Duty... Black Ops, I think, and that had, like, intel. I think I found a decent amount of them, but, like, having to go back through the whole game with a guide open and just, like, following that to the letter so you can find all these items, that's never fun to me, and thankfully it's, like, optional, but it's just... I like collectibles, but I like collectibles that are at least tracked. You know, if it's tracked, then I can find it myself. I'll spend a lot of time looking for it, if so. Alright, what you got here? Tuna, flounder, uni, silago? Fried and batter. What is silago? These are expensive. I can't really afford a lot, so... Does the price, like, match... Okay, the price is kind of 1-to-1 with the amount of mon that it costs. What are the two currency types? Mon and Rio? Where does it tell me? I thought it told you somewhere in this. It shows it in the bottom right. Either way, I wonder how much mon turns into the next currency. Let's have some uni. I hear that this is popular. I don't like pickles. I don't like fish either. So I know I'd probably not enjoy this stuff as much. Oh, you always want sake. It's gonna be hard being in Japan and not being able to enjoy sushi. Not only do I not like fish, but sushi in particular because of my health. I'm not supposed to eat anyway, so at least I have that excuse, but... I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tempura and different kinds of noodles that I can eat instead. Mate with a radish. Why was radish capitalized? One of the things I'm actually most looking forward to in Japan is being able to see like the older structures, the old shrine. Oh wait, all the rooms that had enemies in them have people now? Oh, so I should wait until I'm going back through the area. Or did I just miss those people before? Because I feel like I went into... Oh, maybe not, I'm not sure. But yes, there's like two kinds of experiences in Japan, as best as I can tell. Wait, what was that? There's like the modern Japan, you know, kind of tourist consumer experience where you're in the big cities, the metropolitan areas, and you're on the subways exploring those parts of Japan and maybe like going to stores and buying goods. But then there's hiking, going to like old temples and paying respects, and I want to experience both of those. But mostly the latter. Like, I want to buy a couple things, you know, get some retro games and souvenirs and whatnot, but more than that, I would like to spend time out in the country. I don't think most people own cars. You either use the subway to get around long distances or you walk everywhere. I'm super curious to see how that works too, because in the Americas where I'm from, everybody's very reliant on cars for travel. Mischief is such a simple joy. I feel like the mischief that you're supposed to cause is not what I would refer to as mischief. I think a lot of the... Oh, he's whispering murderer to this guy. That's why he said that. I think a lot of the demons that are supposed to be in Japanese folklore are like very messed up in the kinds of things that they do to people. Why is everyone talking about murderers? Yeah, the umbrella ghosts. I'm not sure what those are called, but you see them a lot. in media. The umbrella ghost. Hopping around on one leg. Creepy. Okay, we have a homeward bone. Ninja gauntlet strength. Quick draw 1. Boosts attack power by 10%. I mean... I'm not even at 10 strength yet, so would that be a bigger increase versus 10%? I'm not sure. Guess I'll have to worry about those later. I wonder if I can, Yeah, if I have to buy those items for completion, is this the only vendor who's going to sell them? I suppose I should turn around before I go much further, because that's not where I'm supposed to go just yet. Ooh. How does that target? I'll have to learn and experiment. I think it's cool that there are so many swords in the game, although it's unfortunate there's only 2 sword types. There's the katana and then there's the long blade. That'd be an odachi. But I mean, that's okay. It'd be cool if there was maybe 3 or 4 different blade types, but understandable. But then something I find a little more saddening, disheartening, I can't think of the term right now that I'm looking for. You have all these skills. I have windmill, I have flash, and I have swallow saw. Oh, these guys have new things to say. But as the swords get stronger and stronger, there's not really a reason to stay equipped with these lesser swords. And if we look at the forge, we go further down. Yeah, eventually it's going to collapse into just a handful of extremely powerful... Look at that, 757 attack power. So you're going to be, like, optimally at the end of the game with specific swords, and you don't really get to choose whether or not you're having Secret Art Disturbance equipped. If you are using or wanting to use the strongest weapons, you are locked into these. What if I like the ability Windmill? I won't have much of a choice. That's just a little unfortunate. It'd be cool if there was just a bunch of different swords at the bottom of that tree, or if you could improve your swords so they were all kind of on an equal level. But maybe some people don't like that kind of design. Oh well, food for thought. Oh, nope, that is the same dialogue. Okay. No smoke bombs, so I can't really escape. Flying enemies. Dang, it's so slow. There's so much hit stop from the long blade. I think that's why I like it. I do like a really hefty, like meaty hit stop. Or hit, I guess it wouldn't be hit stun, would it? Are those two terms interchangeable? But hit stop as in the whole game, like, whoa, disgusting. The whole game, like, freezes when I hit the enemy. I don't remember this guy at all. And you know, it implies like a heavy amount of power in the swing. I love Monster Hunter, and that's a great series for like, you know, in the earlier games pre-World, there were no damage numbers. So really the only way that you knew that you were doing a ton of damage was you were seeing a lot of hit stop. That's how you knew the Great Sword in that game did so much damage per hit, because you did so few hits, but the game would just lock up for like 2 seconds straight if you landed a really big attack. Versus like a regular sword and shield or something, you wouldn't see any hit stun or hit stop or whatever at all. So it's this like implied level of damage that people got by with just fine without having the need for damage numbers. It's still nice to see them. I still like having the option to see damage numbers, but the conveyance of those actions, of how much damage you're dealing with just the animations alone, I think is important. Nice. Maybe it's not a good idea to kill them if I'm trying to be under-leveled, but I don't know. Is it worth picking these up? I'm not sure as... Is it just like one at a time that I'm getting? Do I get more from enemies? This map is cool. So the Musashi part of the map is still like... Its name is in like a white text box, but the Sagami province was not. Like, it was grayed out. Does that mean there's no more bosses there or something? I ask a lot of questions. Rhetorically, out loud to myself, but just so you know my thought process. Like, always questioning what is the game trying to convey with everything. I think interface and user experience are extremely important principles of game design, because people can get stuck in your game if you don't have yellow paint, based on whether or not you're either explicitly telling them what to do, or you're just like giving them enough information so that they can find out on their own. And you obviously want the latter. Show, don't tell. Sister Fox. I know there's going to be a lot of you Kongiku fans in the comments, so don't be afraid to speak up. I know you're there. But are there more Momohime fans, or are there more Kongiku fans? Fuchushuku. That's a mouthful. Ooh. Wow, the water is really interesting looking. Oh no, I remember absolutely hating... I'm trying not to swear as much as I might when interacting with my chat on Twitch. But these guys are... I remember not having fun with these guys in previous playthroughs of this game. I wonder if there's an enemy type that I will see and just, like, remember the trauma will come back, more so than these guys are giving me right now. I like that we've already gotten a sword that's like wreathed in flame as well. Or maybe those blades that are covered in fire are the special seal-breaking blades. Oh, I can do that upward slash in midair if I still haven't used it, like in that combo. I wonder how much... I wish you could practice your moves and stuff outside of combat. I wonder if these are the ninja that I was warned about earlier. Kitchen Secrets Volume 3. I'll take that. Alright, so this is just a dead end for an item, so I hope it's worth it. Oh wow, God, the environments change like so much. Way more than I expect them to between areas. Wonder if that's actually going to be a thing. Paying them to go to another province. Either because the story demands it, or because it's some kind of fast travel. Again? I don't want to do this. Oh good, I can just run away without even using a smoke bomb. Wow, pretty. The bugs flying around. Oh man. Liquor, yes. Jinkuro has been asking for that. No, now Izu's the one that's grayed out. Okay, so that denotes where I am, or where I'm coming from. I was just getting into that bop. Okay, well, I'm just gonna ignore these guys. So I can reach the edge of the screen and just leave. Unless it's something like this, where the screen is locked in. Wow, those do way more damage than I do by myself. It'd be so cool if there was a bestiary in this game. If I could know, like, what all of these enemies and creatures are based off of. If you're more familiar with Japanese folklore, I'm sure it's kind of obvious, but I'm not that familiar, and I love learning. You know, when a game provides you that natural way to understand, like, what's contained within it. I don't know, I like that. Oh, okay. Whetstones. That's going to be really useful, I bet. Oh my god. Away with you. Level up. No. We're trying to avoid that. Kind of. The item here. Two out of, what was that, 55 different equipment items? Oh, nice. I guess it's somewhat of a good thing I didn't buy that other item earlier because it was worse than this one that I just found in the road. Man, this game's fun. Did I just see something? No. I'm imagining it. Oh, it's the splash of the water from the waves, I thought. Was something to interact with. Yeah. Cooking ingredient? Must be. Oh, no, I want to use the item. I want to get out of this fight. I needed a moment. Suppose I could just cook. I don't need to use my consumable items. And keep smoke bombs on. Drink moderately, or drank moderately on the way to enlightenment. Yeah. Something right over here? No, that's the way to the next area. What? No! An even worse group of enemies to have to fight. These Tengu are definitely very annoying to deal with too, that's for sure. I don't know if I hate the frogs more than these guys, to be honest. Getting up into the air and then having limited options for your combos, most of which bring you back down to the ground. It's rough. I didn't see it on the ground. There we go. Fox Spirit Gauntlet. Strength +2. Sure. Check our swords now, too. Maybe we can make something new. I don't quite meet the requirements for those. Yasha. I mean, I'm gonna have to make every sword eventually, is the thing. Let's keep windmill on. How is this sorted? Oh, that brought my stats up enough. Use that. Okay, well, guess we'll switch to that for now. Maybe that will be something I switch to before bosses. But yeah, now I just went from 3 blades I was getting used to 3 brand new blades already. Oh my god, whoa! Okay. Yeah, never mind that other sword. Earth Hornet. That's insane. I mean, lots of games have that move by different names, but what would be one that I would be familiar with? In the Tales games, what's that called? Nah, I don't know. In Devil May Cry, I think it's like Stinger. Sick as hell. Wow, that blows windmill out of the water. And it does good damage. It could be a detriment for the boss fights. I still think windmill has utility in that front. Uh-oh. Well, it locks you down, so do not miss. Skull. What the hell did that do? Very cool to have so many different skills, though. Like, I mean, that's why I expressed my disappointment earlier, is that we're not going to get to use a lot of them. Depending on what the stronger blades are, you just move on from one to another sometimes. Not the button to switch items. The skull's floating around me? Okay. It does a little bit of contact damage. Not that good. Okay, that's some kind of buff. I was so focused on things that I shouldn't have been that I almost just died. If there's anything we can cook. We should cook. No radishes, no tofu. So this one says 100% full. Oh, because you make that as an item that you can use later, but the hot pot you eat right then. Because this shows life flame, spirit, and then 100% full versus life flame, spirit, and it just says perfect. Oh, and if you hold the button, it fast forwards the animation. Still strange, you can't, what, like make more than one at a time? I wonder if the Vita version of this game improves on that or not, because it feels like you should be able to cook more than one at a time if you're going to use them as consumables. Okay, yeah, I think that that's okay. Can I just unequip some of these? I don't need these clogging up my... I'd rather have less items that I'm going to scroll through, because I'm not going to use a lot of them anyway. Okay, well, suppose another boss coming up. We're going to call it there. As always, you know, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed chilling and listening into whatever I had to say. I don't remember it being that interesting, but hopefully you think differently and you enjoyed it. So that's the end of part 2 for Muramasa the Demon Blade. I'm going to keep playing in part 3, and I hope to see you there. Bye.